What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? It's your boy Digi, and I'm here with my guy, Billy Willig.
What's up?
And I'm gonna have us a little quick convo with Digi. It's a quick convo with Digi. Yeah, the theme song played anyway.
Thanks for having me,
I
man.
mean, definitely, bro. Like, I've been actually waiting to have you over anyway, but you know how most people don't know how the show starts. Gotta ask the question. Mind if I smoke?
No, I don't mind.
Alright, perfect. But anyway, met you through the Discord.
Yeah.
I don't know if you run the Discord.
Unfortunately, I
Yeah.
kind of do. I feel like I'm the most impartial person to run an informational website.
Oh, definitely. And you fucked with me and didn't even know me. And put my open mics on there, which were running smoothly at first.
I feel like, when it comes to open mics or shows, like, it's good to help each other out
You
sometimes.
got to. And I found out something. Because I don't know if you started the Discord or you took it over. But other cities don't have this.
Yeah, what happened was somebody else was running a calendar, which if you still Google Atlanta Comedy Open Mics, that calendar comes up.
Definitely.
But I felt like it was kind of, during COVID, it started becoming outdated once open mics came back.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you already using Discord for a couple of video games. And it seemed like a really good way to organize the information you needed. Like, here's what group you want to be in. Here's what shows you want to go to. So I put that together. And then I realized people didn't like reading a list. They missed the calendar. They would be like, where's the calendar?
No, I prefer the list.
So I made the calendar that goes with the list. And now you have both. And the problem is people still ask, what mics are going on tonight?
That'd be the most annoying because I got notifications on for the Discord, bro.
You got to.
It goes off.
You gotta just
all
check it
day
when you're
long.
looking for a show.
Mm-hmm. And as you notice, I literally I'm not doing comedy as much, so I'm not on the Discord as much. I used to be in every conversation.
Yeah.
So today, I want to get people on the Twitch game, streaming with me, because we have a crew, but they're always busy. So, we need people to plan in too, and we can split the money and split the audience.
I think
My
it makes
fans,
us
your
stronger
fans.
as a scene when everybody collaborates instead of dog eat dog.
I keep saying that, bro, but nobody wants an online presence. Like, they're just getting into podcasts when literally everybody has a podcast. So you're going to really have to work hard now to make your podcast stand out. And the only way to make your podcast or your content stand out, collab.
Yeah.
Mix fan bases.
We're all friends,
Exactly.
That's what people want to see.
And that's why I asked a question earlier on the Discord pertaining to Twitch, but I don't say what I'm asking about.
Yeah.
Just because I know it's going to start conversations too.
There's a lot of crazy people on there.
That too.
You gotta weed them out.
Just like I asked about anybody been an athlete before.
Yeah.
It starts conversation. It's so boring sometimes on the Discord or when people get into arguments. No, let's talk about fun shit.
Yeah.
That one gaming question brought everybody out that hadn't been talking in months.
Yeah.
So.
It got a little crazy for a while, but I think I've made some changes to make it more organized. So, if you want to find out if a mic is canceled tonight, if you want to know what booked shows are happening tonight, you can. And then if you want to get into the deranged psychopaths all in the group chat, then that's your choice.
That is going to be right. Chatterbox is really Chatterbox. It's
So,
just a random conversation.
A little bit of positivity is always a nice presence in there.
Thank you. I love it, man. And you always, you're impartial. You don't get into arguments. You'll tell somebody, hey, it's a lot. But other than that, you're a pretty swell guy. Pierre Escargot definitely sings your praise.
If I have to say something, I usually give the reason why.
Yeah.
And if I sound unreasonable, then we can talk it out. You can come on my podcast and we can debate whether or not what you said
It was unreasonable.
whether whether you should delete that or not.
Because, oh yeah, I know you've been on the road a lot. Pierre said he's been on the road with you.
Yeah.
And I'm only 3 years in the comedy game, but I've been an actor for a long time.
Okay.
And, been on a few shows. But I see a huge difference doing the comedy game. Luckily, I have connections already before comedy. But when you got into comedy, like, was it difficult for you to start? Like, did you know what door to knock on, who to talk to?
I was hanging out in a music venue. Well, I first did my first stand-up set in 8th grade. I did it at the school talent show. There's probably a VHS of that somewhere, but I looked and I can't find it. But that doesn't really count. I did write the whole thing with the help of a couple of people, a teacher there and one of my friends from church. But that's the first time I ever did stand-up. And then I was in a band playing at Swayze's in Marietta, and
The good old days.
I saw somebody else do stand-up there, and I was like, I want to do that. I used to see a lot of poets at Swayze's or just like different performance artists. So I was like, I'm going to do some stand-up. And the owner there liked it because I would bring a couple of my friends out usually, and all my friends would just be hanging out there anyway. And so he started booking me on a lot of shows, giving me like 20-minute spots, and then bands would play, like touring bands, DIY touring
20
bands.
minutes right off bat?
Simply because I could bring like 5 to 10 people to the show usually.
Oh, yeah.
Because my friends like to go there anyway.
I'm still struggling with a 10-minute set.
Yeah. But every show at Swayze's was $10. I saw a lot of bands that ended up becoming like bigger bands. Like, saw a lot of weird stuff there. Interesting. So that's kind of how I started. I didn't really care about any like accolades or things like that. I was just trying to make 5 to 10 of my friends laugh.
Oh yeah, that's the goal. Like, I don't even want to make the whole crowd go crazy. I make one person laugh. I'm like, it's a good joke to somebody.
Well, you know who really like opened the door to the Atlanta scene for me was E. Craig. Because he came out to Swayze's one time and he did a stand-up comedy show. So I was like, I'm going to go check it out.
Well, I remember...
They had no chairs in there, so nobody really came.
If anybody remembers my first podcast, y'all remember E. Craig?
Hey.
Yeah, 3 years ago. I remember E. Craig.
I will always say E. Craig is the first person to pay me in comedy.
Like, E. Craig's definitely...
He will pay you.
He's a great guy. He's an amazing person. Him and Hennessy are not friends. They know each other well, but they should.
Yeah, he's a crazy guy.
I did during COVID, right? My first podcast was called "Oh Here We Go." It's like nobody was on stage, nobody could tell jokes, so I feel like I was the first person to think, let me get on Zoom and record it. And I was nobody, so it didn't take off like everybody else's did. But like,
did any of the Zoom take off?
yeah, all Deaf Digital. I got a Squadcast.
I never heard of it.
But the E. Craig came on an episode,
I'm probably out of the loop.
and I think he was going through some relationship things. Oh, he was drunk.
Oh man.
Oh, Lord, he sexually harassed everybody on the show.
But he'll do that anyway.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's true. That's true. And then I like,
That's the brand.
He's going extreme. I had to I booted him from the Zoom, right? I told him this later, and he called me like 30 minutes later. He was like, "What happened?" I'm like, "Your phone died." He was like, "Oh yeah." I'm like, "Dude, your phone never died." Yeah, your phone died. Remember? Hey, how you doing? You want anything, bro? You need anything? I see some food.
I could definitely see myself believing that.
Yeah.
One time somebody messaged me on Facebook and was like, I know you hit my car at the party in Kennesaw the other week. you need to pay me or I'm suing you or something like that. And I was like, I used to drink a lot, and I was like, I don't remember doing that, but
Yes.
maybe I did. I don't know, and I don't remember. But it ended up being she was thinking of someone else. It wasn't even me. Some other guy named Billy.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But for a second, I was like, did I?
Because I'm not going to lie to you.
I went out and checked my car for damage. I was like, how much of this was already there?
Oh, that's hilarious. I got a mistaken identity a few times. I'm an identical twin.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But
Do you
it
have
wasn't
psychic powers or anything?
Nah, I can just tell when he's bullshitting. But like my thing also is like it wasn't even him I got mistaken for. Like this is ongoing. I mean, this like it happened again last week. There's a guy in Chicago wanted for murder with my same name and birthday.
Oh man!
and the cops every time I get pulled over because I don't drive the best. They run my license. And they're like, hey, yes, I know it's a warrant for somebody like me. It's not me. I'm not 6'3". And they're like, oh, dude, you might want to get that taken care of. At this point, they look at me, they're like, he definitely ain't 6'3".
You got to change your whole name now or something?
No, they need to arrest this guy, but it's Chicago, so it's probably not going to happen.
He's gone.
Yeah, he's in the wind. And they think he's in Atlanta. The last place I would come from running from a murder case from Chicago is Atlanta. Everybody from Chicago running from murder cases in Atlanta.
Where would you go? Canada?
Oh, Mississippi. Nobody's looking in Mississippi. Nobody's looking for Mississippi. Like, it's people right now doing geography class, and they tell them it's 49 states. Nobody's looking for Mississippi, bro. But
that's true.
So I guess I should ask.
There's some good stuff in Mississippi, right?
It's a river.
Can't
Also, it has the highest black population in the country.
Can't remember the last time I was there.
Never been. I want to go to Biloxi because when I went to Vegas and I won a little money, I lost more. But, I'm like, it's casinos right here. I wonder if they have the same open bar policy.
I can't remember if the fully loaded was Mississippi or Alabama for the last day.
Oh, have you done any comedy festivals?
I did the North Carolina Comedy Festival in Greensboro at the Idiot Box.
At the Idiot Box?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did the Idiot Box a few months. It was like, it was last year now.
That spot is sick. I like the owner a lot, Jenny.
Yeah, she's amazing. And she's a comedian too.
Yeah.
Found that out.
Yeah, she's funny too.
She's hilarious. And like when I walked in, she's like, "You just gotta buy a drink to perform." I'm like, "Got IPA?" She is like my type of guy. And she was like, "You from Atlanta?" She was like, "Yeah, we got one of our own there." And what's his name? Boy, forgive me. You know who I'm talking about. Zarimba.
Yeah.
Jason. Yeah. Jason. He's from Greensboro.
Yeah. Love Jason.
Good guy. Great guy.
I also did the Salem, Massachusetts Comedy Festival. That was a lot of fun. It was 3 days, 3 shows, I think. Small festival.
Oh, nice. I'm trying to get into some festivals. Just my schedule's crazy. But Salem, you say?
Yeah, Salem, Massachusetts.
I don't want this to sound weird, but I'm still scared of the dark. So every time I think about like going to places like that, I don't want to bring back the spirit of a witch with me.
Yeah. The guy who ran the festival, he didn't really care about the witch stuff. He was like, this is a port. This was a trading port. The history of the trading port is way cooler than the witch stuff. I was like, no, it's not. They burned people.
They burn. What are you talking about? They drowned people. They women.
But he was a really nice guy too. He would give you great advice. He would give you contacts of people in the industry. Like, He was cool. Mark Scalia.
Oh, that's awesome. I would totally do it now, like Salem, only because Massachusetts legalized weed.
Oh yeah.
But I hear it's like only like 15% THC or something.
Yeah, it's a lower dose, but if you eat that whole chocolate bar,
It's either way.
feel it
Yeah.
all right.
It's like I act like I ain't never smoked depths before. I still got high eventually.
Yeah, the hotel I was staying in was right next to the dispensary. So I was just walking there.
Oh yeah. Now, what time of year is this concert? I mean, this comedy festival.
I think it was still kind of cold. Maybe February.
I don't do cold. No, only like I do cold.
It wasn't that bad though.
Southern cold and northern cold is two different codes.
It wasn't bad weather at all. It was a little cold, but it didn't like snow a lot or anything.
Okay, well, yeah, that's probably like the end of February then.
I drove up there too, and I just DIY toured the rest of the
like
way.
16-hour trip?
Something crazy like that.
Because DC is a 10-hour drive. I made that like twice this year.
So that run I did Charlotte, Raleigh.
Nice.
I stopped in Richmond to sleep at a friend's house.
Can I ask you a question? They say, and this is just people in Greensboro though, but they say the people in Charlotte that seems a little pretentious.
No, they're really good. It's just they have their own Charlotte way of doing things.
That's exactly how they said it.
It's kind of a smaller city.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were in Atlanta, you would want to trim some of the fat probably. But also, it's a different kind of scene. Like, there's not a whole lot of places to do stand-up. There's a few, but I would say we have a lot more here, and we're fortunate in that way.
Yeah.
They've got like Comedy Zone and like, I don't know, whatever, the Chuckle Hut or something like that.
Oh yeah, Chuckle. And like you said
I don't
earlier,
even know what it is. But
we'll go get an Italian restaurant basement and be like, "Can we tell shows here?
Yeah,
Can we do shows here?"
Yeah.
Hey, in a second. Like it's people
the smoke
doing house
shop,
shows.
we'll ask.
I did that. That was me. I'm sorry. Look, our homeboys working there. They said they wanted to make more money. I was like, let's do an open mic. Shout out to Khalil White for taking that over. I like what you're doing. Keep getting them to pay you.
I used to work at the chain smoke shop, and I would think about it, but I would be like, this is not a good place to have a comedy show because nobody's gonna buy anything. You just have a bunch of extra people in there.
And for the most part, if it's an open mic, you just have a bunch of extra comedians in there. 20, 30 of them waiting in line.
For no reason, leaning on the glass.
Yeah, leaning only like the display glass.
And even if you tell them not to, they just do it anyway.
Mm-hmm. Because, dude, there ain't no seats. I'm not going to just stand straight up. Keep falling asleep. I'm fat. So how easy is it? No. Finish with what you said you went on a tour. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
What did I say?
Charlotte,
Raleigh.
Love Raleigh too.
Richmond, but I didn't do a spot in Richmond. Then I slept at my buddy's house. Shouts out to Seth at the Jungle House. And then I went to Philadelphia. I did a show there. Next to New Jersey to sleep at my friend Josh's house, and then on to New York. I did a couple open mics. I had some friends introduce me to comedy bookers, but none of them were giving me spots that night. So I did a few open mics, and then I kept going to Salem from there.
Nice.
Made my way back kind of the same way.
I was going to ask you if you did Caroline's, but...
Nah. I had a couple of friends, talk to people for me, but they tried, Being like, he's just here for tonight. He's leaving right after the show. And you put him on. And they're like, no.
I hate to cut him off again. Please show them that freezer sticker on the camera.
Oh, yeah.
That shit's so fucking fire.
I put stickers on my water bottles because I lose them. And so somebody's going to know.
Monkeys. Freezer. Oh, God. We love... Freezer's literally...
He's a
the
good
most
villain.
asshole of villains ever. Even when he's dying, he's talking shit.
Frieza Saga still holds up, man.
Oh yeah, it's like one of the best sagas of Dragon Ball Z.
Ocean Dome.
And the worst part is like I said, we doing an anime podcast, and every villain repents or like realizes the error of their ways in anime right before they die.
Vegeta was such a good character
Great
in
character.
the Frieza Saga. He was just
He was the
total
worst
asshole.
anti-hero.
Yeah.
Like, we literally just talked about this the other night. This motherfucker was trying to get the Dragon Balls, fighting his old friends, protecting the niggas that just jumped him on Earth, and still killing the Mechians when he was alone.
Yeah.
Whole village.
She was ruthless. I think the worst anti-hero is Sasuke because he committed war crimes and he paid no consequences.
Zero.
They never
All he did
did.
was use an arm, and Naruto lost that too.
They never took him to court on anything.
Not anything. No, Vegeta's
Yeah, he
worse.
took the Raikage's arm. That's got to be something.
But no. Vegeta's still worse only because the only reason he turned around was because of some pussy. That's the only thing that made him act right. Bulma. Yeah, oh, no, I'm a hero. I'm a dad.
Yeah,
Oh, some pussy.
that's true. That's real life.
So you stopped. You murdered planets. It had no retribution. I mean, I
But
guess
that's
it
the
beats
same
itself
thing
up.
with Sasuke. Like, Sakura, she just never stopped being down the fuck for Sasuke.
Yeah,
And so that's why he never suffered any consequences.
She's a married single mother.
And she did nothing the whole time.
She's a married
The-
single mother.
The only fight the Sakura ever won was when Granny Chio was controlling her.
That's it. Other than that, you were literally an expendable character, except for the fact that you ended up fucking Sasuke and Naruto wanted to fuck you.
One of my friends explained to me one time that the author, Kishimoto, he doesn't know how to write women, and it made so much sense to me, because they're all very shallow.
Very shallow, except for Hinata, who's very stereotypical, strong down, but still damsel in distress, but she can give anybody hands.
Yeah.
Because if you really think about it, they kind of thrusted her into the position of, now we have to care about her. Like, honestly, y'all made us care about Neji way more than Hinata, and now all of a sudden we're supposed to care about Hinata through and through as Naruto's wife and Boruto's mother.
Yeah.
Like, we hate Boruto because his mom. No.
Do you see that? There was like some online, it was Naruto with the orange or the green flak jacket, and he looked like a Jonin ninja.
Mm-hmm.
It was like what we wanted versus what we got.
Versus what we got. Yeah. We got Boruto.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah. He does look like Mark Zuckerberg now.
Yeah.
Grown up Naruto looks lame as fuck. Like, you grew into your hair.
That's what I'm saying. Grown up Goku was awesome.
Yeah.
Right? You watch Kid Goku, then he grows up, and he's like, buff.
And
he's like beating people through planets now.
And now Naruto's Spike Dudley with a hair. When he got his hair.
He looks like Sting.
Exactly. Young Sting. Yeah. Surfer Sting. We thought we was going to get the Ultimate Warrior with some nice Jiraiya hair. Minato, his dad looks cool as fuck when he was grown.
Yeah.
Naruto, we just going to put hair on a stick figure.
They dropped the ball on that one.
And now we got Boruto Shippuden.
Because like Madara's whole thing was kind of cool. He was badass.
Yeah.
And then he's just gone for no reason.
Yeah. Like, my thing is, like, that when they did that Madara story and it turns out that he actually got to die of old age, just stay dead.
Yeah.
You literally got to live. People of your generation, only 30% of them are alive still after the age of 21. And you got to see old age and you're still trying to come back and wreck shit up to the point where you murder everybody in the next generation down there and they don't even get to see
They
their
needed
lives.
to know. They needed to know their place.
They did, because y'all are weak ninjas now. Because compared to Madara, that nigga had hands.
Yeah, he was destroying everybody. He was like, oh, do you want my clones to use Susanoo or not?
You didn't answer fast enough. Dude, that was the worst reverse jumping I've ever seen.
That was good.
And
Because the Susanoo was like, that was like the big thing. Like,
Yeah.
That was the trump card for the Uchiha.
And all of them had it, every clone. Like I thought Killer B taking down Pain was bad, but that was a reverse jumping that I needed in my life, Madara. Because Hashirama wasn't even giving out hands like that
Yeah.
to the Zetsus.
Yeah.
But and then he showed back, but this nigga showed up with Hashirama on his chest and the cells. I'm like, bro, just you could have stayed dead. And Obito, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Your whole family's dead. You need to come have kids and get the help the Uchihas come back. You over here wasting your whole life when you and Sasuke together could have brought the Uchihas back.
Yeah, Obito did nothing wrong.
Idiot. But off the anime, I guess it's gonna be my final question. As far as comedy, good cliche question. Who are some of your biggest inspirations? Because for me, one of my main inspirations, besides the regulars and Martin, Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah. Same.
Oh, awesome.
Love Mitch Hedberg. Used to listen to the CDs.
Yeah, definitely. When he popped up on that '70s show, I went crazy.
When I was younger, my parents had some Bill Cosby records, and I got a record player, and I spun those.
Like,
I didn't know about the allegations.
didn't know about the allegations, but we're not gonna act like he wasn't one of the comedic goats. That boy is a goat when it comes to delivery and storytelling.
Yeah, I like Dave Chappelle. I like Daniel Tosh. I like.
Daniel Tosh fell off.
Yeah, but I think about like ones that got me into comedy.
Oh yeah, go ahead. No, excuse my interruption.
but you know, I haven't seen a lot of new stand-up stuff from him, so yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much the list. Bill Burr. I like Bill Burr.
Genius. What about Tom Segura?
Yeah, I like his podcast stuff, I would say. Because I put some stand-up albums like up there, like Hedberg's records, Cosby's records, Dave Chappelle's HBO special, all his specials really.
Carlin.
Yeah, Carlin. You know, some people are on a pedestal in my mind.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely with Carlin. And believe it or not, Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Oh, Robin Williams is the genius. I'm gonna say this off of the podcast, but it's one bit of him that I love, and somebody that we all know is doing the same exact bit around town.
Oh, man.
And yeah, but I
Well,
don't
good
wanna
luck
say
with
it on
that.
camera. He's actually getting a little traction with it, because most people have never seen Robin Williams stand up.
I mean, that's fun for a while, but
You're gonna need better new jokes eventually.
there's no longevity in that, I think.
But all right, man, go ahead and tell them your IG and what you got coming up next, like in the next few days.
At Billy Willig on Instagram and Twitter and wherever else. Next few days, I know I have a show this weekend, but I can't remember what it is. Something on Friday.
That's why.
I got a show on Friday. Follow me on Instagram if you want to know where it's at.
Yeah, because I'm dropping this episode tonight.
Okay, sick.
Quick turnaround. And, you already know it's been a quick combo with Digi, your grandmama's favorite lover, your auntie's favorite ex. And I usually would sign off on that, but I have one more thing to say. Fifth Gear Luffy?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
The drums of liberation.
The drums of liberation. All right, y'all.